Because I wanted to also ask about Facebook Exchange and the kind of the programmatic underpinnings that you're putting in place at the company. And this is another multi-layered question, and I apologize for it, but I see kind of two things developing with you. One is through what's happening in the news feed as kind of a native, kind of advances in intimacy with consumers, or between customers and consumers. On the programmatic side, I'm seeing an opportunity to kind of get very efficient tonnage and awareness out there. Am I over-interpreting or misinterpreting that as a strategy? How is programmatic fitting into, and the exchange fitting into what you're doing?
Well, maybe the strategic umbrella I'd put on it is that, the world is moving to really audience buying, right? And that ability to target in very pinpoint specific ways, but do it at scale. And that's part of, I alluded to this earlier, part of the benefit of Facebook. And so Facebook Exchange, or FBX as we call it, really takes advantage of this largely in the retargeting space. And retargeting is one powerful form of audience buying, and it's proven to be quite effective, and we've opened that up in the desktop environment, and that's working well, and we have a lot of partners, some in this room. But there's also a lot of other forms of audience buying that right now aren't programmatic for us, and I think one of them that I would take a minute to point to that I'm most excited about is custom audiences. I don't know how many people here have used custom audiences. So I have a relatively small number, and what custom audiences does is it allows a business to take its CRM database, its customer database, and marry it together with Facebook data in a privacy-safe way, and then create targeting clusters. So you might take your new customers and put upsell message to them, lapsed customers, try to win them back. Take your best customers, and then we can actually use our technology to say, here's 5x the number of people who look like your best customers, and then go out and try to acquire them. And we think that world in which you can get that much smarter about targeting, and so it's not just about this massive scale, but about this pinpoint accuracy. So that we like to joke 1.1 billion is the least interesting number. What's much more interesting is that smaller subset that you really can be targeting and talking to exactly the right people with the right message. That's the part that maybe excites us most of all. And so yes, FBX plays a role in this general trend of audience buying, but we think it's just one piece of it. Okay,
but you're also clarifying something for me, because it's really saying that audience buying and Facebook Exchange are really about the media, the target, the audience. That's separate and apart from the creative. The creative should still be as good as it can possibly be, as useful and relevant to Facebook as it can possibly be. But here we've got a way of matching that great creative to the audience. The reason I'm kind of going through this is that in many other companies, the way I'm seeing it is that these two things kind of fall into very different buckets. Oh, we have our native over here, and this is how we get great brand intimacy, and that's the higher cost stuff. And we got our programmatic over here, so you can kind of get that tonnage and awareness out there. And you're not seeing it that way. You're seeing as these two things coming together.
Well, I mean, yes, to a point, but it actually is separate. And part of the reason why things like custom audiences and many of our other formats in mobile as a whole today we're not selling through FBX, for example, is because we think that creative, the message, the native format to Facebook is important and is different from what's out there, and we want to keep it. We want to make sure, for the reasons we just talked about 5 minutes ago, that the quality is so high that user experience. Because to us, it's when users come and find the same value in ads that they do in other content. Like I said, it's a standard behavior that people scroll through some stuff, go deep on other stuff. And we want to make sure that ads at least are at that bar or even higher, because we know there's people like the people in this room that when you put great creatives, you can actually create even better content than the average person.